Happy 70th birthday, John. We're all excited to be able to share this time with you and to put our thoughts and remembrances on video so that you can cherish this for a long time because you are well loved by a lot of people, especially your family, and all for very good reason. When I think about you, I think about three words, and there are more, but three particular words that come to mind. You're dependable, you're conscientious, and you are helpful. I learned this helpful side of you right away. In fact, on the day of our first date, if you remember, you took me to the hardware store to pick up a window that was being repaired, and you just took care of all the details and made it so easy for me, and I appreciated that. And then, of course, we went to dinner that night and had a wonderful time, and the rest is history. And then there was a time just a few weeks after that when something had happened to my mailbox, and you and your sweet daddy came over, and I think you actually took out the mailbox that was faulty, and you and Debbie installed a good one, and I appreciated that. You just always have been helpful. In fact, that's how my friends know you. You have quite the reputation. I think back to a visit that we made up to Becky and Charlie's, and you were in the kitchen working away, and Becky said later on, she said, I have never seen the cooking pans as clean as these are, because you had stayed at that sink until they were spotless. And then, of course, when we went to Israel, you were so helpful to everybody, and our friend Susan Malloy ended up calling you Jasper as a result of your helpfulness, not only to her, but pretty much everyone else who needed any kind of assistance. But the name Jasper, or as Susan calls it, Jasper has stayed with you and remains one of our favorite names to think of you by. The conscientious part of you is also such a lovely thought. You are a man of your word. If you tell someone you're going to do something, you do. And this is part of your dependable side too. You're a person who takes on commitments, and you go the extra mile. I think about the way you handle all your ushering commitments at church. You get there early, you're there before everybody else. You walk around, you see to it that whoever is working with you that day does not have anything else to be concerned about, because you've already gone ahead of them and seen to it that their path is carved out and they have everything they need. And that's you, John. You see to it that people have everything they need as far as it depends on you. And I appreciate that about you so much. And the children do, and the grandchildren do. They know that you are in their corner, and if you tell them you're going to do something, you will. I have so many fun, loving stories about you, and some that do come to mind, and usually the ones that are the funniest to me are the ones where you're not trying to be funny. But one that comes to mind is the day we were in the bookstore and you were checking out music on CDs, and you had your headphones on, and you thought the way you heard yourself was the way everyone else would hear you. Little did you know your voice was echoing all over the entire area where we were standing as you were calling out my name, and you wanted me to come and hear what you were hearing. And it was just one of those moments that I always will have imprinted on my mind, because it was definitely a funny side of you. And then I remember the time when you were changing the fan in Laura's room. And that's one of the few times I've ever known you to be a little frightened, but I get tickled about it because you are so strong and independent and do things well. But that day something went wrong and you shocked yourself and you called out my name, I think, to make sure you were still alive. And we still, of course, giggle about that too. But there are lots of things that I think about over the years where you have stepped in to help someone, or you have gone the extra mile, and you've done it without people knowing it was you. And that's also too one of the things that I love and cherish about you. So today, as we celebrate you, we hope this is one of the best days of your life. And this gives you something to always know and remember, that there are those that think the world of you. I love you, honey. Happy birthday.